I'm Lou Harvin. Now, I've spoken many times on behalf of United Way over the years, primarily because of the impact it's had on my own family and friends. For example, my niece, who was suffering from skin cancer a few years ago, she would die at the age of 29, but her family was able to get support from organizations supported by United Way. There was also a good friend of our family's who was going through a situation in which her husband lost his job, and she was determined to not use any services like food shelves that she needed desperately. Well, the family ended up losing their house and had difficulties, and things turned around only after they decided to get help from United Way organizations. Now, today I'm going to talk about me and what happened in my life recently. The story starts 30,000 feet up in the air. I was on a flight going from Minneapolis to Seattle, and suddenly everything turned black, pitch black. As I opened my eyes, I saw nothing but white, from black to white. As I saw the white, I looked up and I realized my seat had been placed in a reclined position, which I did not set. And that white was the ceiling of the airplane. I'm staring up at the ceiling, and as I'm looking, I notice a coat hanger. Next to the coat hanger was a clear plastic bag. Now, this was all confusing to me. In that clear bag, I thought I saw what looked like water. And as I saw the hanger attached with the bag, I looked down and saw a tube. And I followed the tube down, and it went into my vein. Who put that there? I was getting an IV on the airplane. I heard my wife in the background saying, "Lou, come back to us. Lou, please wake up. Lou, come back, please." And I realized I got no only IV. I found out later the lady who had done that was a nurse, an operating room nurse, who just so happened to have been on that plane. I had had some type of heart issue. The nurse was saying to my wife, "I think your husband has some kind of heart problem." I don't know. They couldn't figure it out. I saw the pilot standing there. I saw a couple of flight attendants, and the pilot kept asking me, "Do you want us to turn the plane around?" I said, "Where are we?" He said, "Somewhere over the Dakotas." I said, "Please don't." So we went on to our destination. It turned out I did have a heart problem. But think of other people in the Twin Cities who have issues that are equally potentially devastating that may not be their heart. There are people sitting nearby right now here in the Twin Cities at the kitchen table trying to figure out whether to pay for food or whether to pay for their mortgage, whether to pay a light bill. That's traumatic. That's devastating. There are people who are dealing with issues right now where someone in their family is dealing with mental illness issues, and they're calling desperately for help. There are people who are trying to figure out ways to deal with childcare and to get their older adult friends or family members into job training programs, various things of that nature. Those are equally devastating. The difference is, for me, enough people came together on that airplane to get me the help I needed. Luckily, people didn't just sit around waiting for somebody else to do something. People jumped in, according to my wife, and did what they needed to do to help me. Just some old black guys sitting on an airplane, and they're all coming to my aid. That's what people in the Twin Cities are doing on a daily basis, coming to the aid of so many people who are trying to thrive. We like to say that people should not be held back because of income, race, or place. Now, for me, it turned out that I did, as I said, have a heart problem. And the doctors told me sometimes my heart beats too fast, sometimes it beats too slow. And they said one day it's not going to beat at all. So you know what happened to me? I got a pacemaker. a pacemaker, just like this one. This is just a copy. I didn't take this away from someone who needs it, but there are no insides, but it's weighted. The good folks at Medtronic were nice enough to give me a pacemaker so I could carry it around. Yeah, it's kind of show and tell. But what this tells me isn't that I have a pacemaker. This is my symbol of the people who came to my aid to give me a chance to get up again and to live my life and to go on from there. And you are doing the same thing with United Way. You are helping people for the 240,000 calls we got last year, for people looking for help on a regular basis, for people who dial that 988 number trying to get help at our lifeline, for people with mental illnesses. That's what you're doing. Now, the difference for me, however, is that I had a chance to personally thank those who helped me. My wife and I have kept in touch with that nurse, that operating room nurse who came to my aid, and some of the other people who were there for me. Now, chances are, those of you who are supporting United Way, you're never going to meet the people who you help. And you're really not supposed to. It's not set up that way. That's why I'm here to say thank you. Thank you on behalf of the many people you have helped, the many people you will continue to help in the months, years ahead. Right now at United Way, our campaign theme is United is the Way. I've analyzed that statement over and over, and it's actually 100% true. United is the way. Thank you.